So early. Okay, just had to rock this just a little bit early today. I've got a little golf tournament, so I got to get out. I'm gonna see some athletes first, then hit the course. But as most of you know, it's just not all about golf. It's all about endurance sports and a really well-rounded life and keeping the body fit and able to do whatever you want and whatever I want. So this weekend was a lot of cycling, running. I did not swim. The dog swam, but just got to get the body ready for the week of training. And we're going to start with a quick reactive foam roller scan. And it's reactive because I'm just dealing with what happened all weekend. So you've got to enter into a training week in the best possible situation physically as possible, right? That's the goal every single Monday morning. So we're going to take that foam roller and we're just going to windshield wiper right below the calf, right at the bottom of the gastroc, and just roll through the bottom of the calf muscle. So you are not on that big fleshy part of the lower leg. You're just below it. And we're just going to use a little bit of that body weight to windshield wiper through it. Now, tissue should be, it's not unusual. Here we are midsummer. It's hot in the northern hemisphere. And for the most part, that tissue is becoming more vulnerable as the season goes on because of dehydration, because of training and just using our bodies. So we've got to be really, really conscious of how it's all feeling. And if it's feeling pinny or a little bit achy, I think achy might be better than pinny. Pinny means there just might be a little bit of more vulnerability and less hydration in the tissue. So when we focus on mobility, whether we're using a tool like the foam roller or the percussion gun or anything like that, the goal is to hydrate tissue. Don't forget that. We want to keep the tissue as healthy and responsive to training as we possibly can. So we're just windshield wiping the second leg and just working just little by little down towards that Achilles tendon and just giving that Achilles in that foot the best opportunity to be full of fluid and just have, well, not like swelling or anything, but just the ability for things to flow. Okay, let's go back to that first side. We're going to do a little bit of flossing. So right here, we've got the pressure right below the calf, and we're just pointing and flexing. Include the toes. So right here, we're in this nice plantar flex position. Pull the toes back, then pull the foot back. Flex the toes, then flex the foot. Extend, flex. It's actually plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, so it's kind of confusing on this foot motion. And try and just separate toes, then foot, then toes, then foot. That's a good exercise. Toes, point, extend, flex. There you go. Same thing other side. So we get that little bit of pressure just below the calf. And we'll just start with a couple of point and flexes through the ankle. Remember the 3 key areas of mobility. What are they? Ankles, hips, and thoracic spine. Really will never change. We can just focus on those 3 areas. Okay, ready? Let's include the toes. So we're dropping the toes, then dropping the foot, extending the toes, and then pulling the foot back. Flex. And I seem to have pretty good connection today. Good. All right. Continuing that full body scan with reactive foam rolling. We're going to keep both knees coming straight out from the hips, so don't let them flare out to the side. We're just going to roll over onto that left glute. My focus right now is a little more cycling than running, so my expectation here is that the glute won't be quite as pinny as it would be if I had run a bunch of miles. So if you ran a bunch of miles, this is going to be probably more than enough to just help hydrate the tissue in the glutes and just add the opportunity for the hip complex to work better this week. Okay, so we don't have to solve any big problems. We might identify a little bit of problems but we don't need to solve them right now. The goal here, just move tissue around, okay? Same thing on the other side. Knees stay pretty tight, and we're on the right side hip. Just moving through it. Interesting for me, my left side glute is a little more, there's a little more action there. It's talking to me a little bit more on the left. And nothing's screaming at me, and that's just how I describe how I interact with the body. And so if I'm foam rolling with an athlete and I'm asking for feedback, I'm like, is that tissue talking to you? Is that tissue screaming at you? Or is it whispering? Or is it just good? Like it's just quietly just sitting there doing nothing. Okay, let's take the foam roller, put it right below the shoulder blades, hands behind the head. We're just going to extend through that thoracic spine, nice and easy. Good. And good. All right, let's move just about 2 inches down. So the foam roller is now up inside. It's above the bottom of the shoulder blades, okay? So we've got them elevated a little bit here because of the hand position. But it's allowing us to get into that thoracic spine all the way up. And you can toggle side to side. Let the elbows flare out to the side and just a nice easy toggle. Just getting rid of all that tightness. Even the time you spent not only on your bicycle, but also if anybody worked on the computer this weekend or drove the kids around, and even driving or taping will definitely play a role there. Okay, so been meaning to do this for the last couple of weeks and I haven't really gotten there. If you have a baseball cap on, you can leave it on because it's going to put your head in a really good position. But you're going to lay on your stomach. And we want to set an anchor down low. So when you set an anchor, your knees touch and your big toes touch. And right there, we're in internal rotation of the hips. Knees are touching, toes are touching, and heels are spread apart. That puts your femurs into an internally rotated position. From right there, I just want you to pull your chin into your throat. And then half sphere of tension, straight up. And then walk the hands, walk the fingertips away from the shoulders. Keep those knees nice and strong. Pull that chin into the throat so your head is looking straight down. And just right there, hold that strong. Keep your knees nice and tight. And from right there, I want you to lift your fingertips off the ground. And then the fingertips go back to the ground and we're going to come back into a supine position, face up. So prone is face down, supine is face up. All right, from right here, we're just going to get some nice flat hips and we've got a flat back. So if you wanted to slide your hand under your low back, you couldn't. Some of you will struggle with that. I want you to pull your pubic bone into your belly button. Flatten the back, flatten the hips. Knees come straight out from the hips. They're not flared out to the side. Okay, so right there, we've got flat hips, we've got a flat back. From right there, we're going to take a big inhale and we're going to arch the back. Inhale. And then exhale. And as you exhale, you want a pubic bone and belly button to get closer together. Okay, so inhale, spread, belly button, arch the back, belly button and pubic bone, create space, and exhale. Belly button and pubic bone get closer together, back gets flat. So we're working the diaphragm. Inhale, arch the back, exhale, flatten the back. We're going to go 3 more big breaths. Inhale, belly rises, rib cage rises, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, belly rises, rib cage rises, exhale. Let's flip right back over into that prone position. Knees together, toes together, heels apart, fingertips straight out from the shoulders and slightly lateral. Okay, so they're not straight out, they're just slightly lateral. Pull the chin into throat, keep that pelvis in the femurs in the internally rotated position, nice and strong. Now we're gonna pull the belly button away from the floor. And breathe 5 breaths. Pull the belly button up and in. This is actually opposite to what we just did breath-wise. Two more big breaths. And good. Pull the palms back to the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And we're just going to go pinkies to the ground and then pinkies off the ground. So we're gliding the shoulder blades along the ribs. 2. Keep the anchor down low. 3. Squeeze shoulder blades. 4. Squeeze shoulder blades. 5. Fingertips back out, back out. Pull the chin into throat, looking straight down with the eyes. Pull the belly button away from the floor. Lift the hands. 5 breaths here. And 5. And from right there, we'll push right back. We're going to do a little bit of child's pose. You'll notice I struggled just a little bit to get my butt all the way to my heels. Right there. You're probably pretty comfortable there. We're going to push back and reach the hands forward. Push the hips back, hands forward. And then come right up into that quadruped position. And then push back into the child's pose. Long through the lats, long through the fingertips. And then we come back out of it. One more time. Push hips back. And then come back up. Good. From right there, let's go ahead and stand up. And we're going to work a little bit of a lunge pattern. And it's a lunge because it's a step and a return. It doesn't have to be a big anterior lunge to be a lunge by definition. Step and return. That's a lunge. All right? So we're just going to go an anterior step and a nice big reach with both arms. Load to the front leg and then just come right back. You can go into extension, open up the front side of the body, create space. As we do that, let's work a big inhale. So we're going to go inhale and then exhale. Same leg 5 times. Big inhale. Arch the back, create space in the belly. And 5. Good. So just keep decompressing. Keep thinking about tall. Keep thinking about space between the ribs and the hips. Okay, other side. Big inhale. You should feel a little bit of tension in the belly. 2. 3. Up. Inhale. Inhale. And good. Okay, so we talk a little bit. Let's go into a wide stance. Anchor the stance. That means put your heels outside of your toes. You don't want to overcook that. You just want to think about parallel line here with the other side of the foot. So you know you're in a great anchored position if your outsides of your feet, your 5th metatarsal line, is parallel right and left side. Okay, from right here, we're going to toggle the hips back. So just hands on your hips, push your hips back, and in response to that, your chest will drop just a little bit. But I don't want you to think drop chest. I want you to think push hips back. So hip hinge, hips back, 2, gentle loading of the hamstrings to the back, hips back, 3, hips back, 4, hips back, and 5. Okay, from right there, we're just going to push the hips back and then use the arms as a counterbalance. In foundation training, we call that a founder, okay? So from right here, I want you to work that hip hinge to the back and then just push the hands to the front so the hips have that little bit of counterbalance. From right there, keep the hands high and we're just gliding side to side, okay? Glide side to side, getting a little bit of adductor stretch. But you're also, in response, we've got length here because we've got strength here. Length, strength. So at right adductor, left glute, lateral glute complex. Because it includes TFL, it includes some of glute max, and it includes glute med. So just teaching these two muscles to get along using the gliding, okay? Gliding. It's not just a stretch. This is Mobility Monday, not Stretching Monday, okay? Mobility is about function and control. Good, 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 and good. All right, shake that out. And we're just gonna do a gentle kind of passive movement using, you're gonna put your hands up on the wall. If you don't have a wall, you can use a countertop. And we're just gonna swing through the entire body. We're gonna work some rotation. So if you have a wall, we're just gonna rotate through the whole body. And I don't want you to think about stabilizing anything. Control it, but just let the rotation happen, okay? I'll do it facing you using 2 vipers just to stabilize. Okay, so it's one leg is on the ground, foot is straight or anchored to make sure that you're in a good position. You don't want to be in that externally rotated position. We want a nice straight foot. And all we're going to do is just let the whole body relax. Now I have unstable surface here, but for the sake of me showing you, I want you to be grabbing onto something stable because I want your upper body to move as well. Ankle is popping and cracking, hips are moving, but there's freedom in my nervous system. This kind of movement down regulates the nervous system a little bit. Less tension, more freedom, okay? We get more freedom in the body as we get stronger, which is why mobility isn't enough, guys. You need to be stable and you need to be strong. This is only one piece of the performance puzzle, right? Okay, so we did those nice single leg swings, full body rotation. Let's go one more round each side. We'll go 10 swings each side. I'm gonna use the wall. Back side. 1, 2, 3, freedom. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Shake that out. Now we go the other side. 1, 2, shoulders move, everything moves. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ankle moves, don't hold tension in your foot. And good. All right. Last thing today. We're going to go into slow mountain climbers. So a mountain climber, I just hate mountain climbers where you're trying to get the heart rate up and you're just pushing side to side. So I created a slow mountain climber because I really have a level of appreciation for how it opens the front side of the body, which is one of my founding principles of mobility. You must have openness on the front side, the front line. The front being everywhere that gravity wants you to be tight, right? Tight hips, tight chest. You can even get tight on the ankles. Okay, slow mountain climbers, 5 each side. We're gonna start that at a high plank. Take that left foot up by the left hand. We've got a little bit of lateral movement and come back. Lateral movement and come back. slow mountain climbers. Taking the time to let that trail hip go down into the mat just a little bit, but there's also tension on that line. Good, just one more each side. And coming at you straight, you see the width that we have, and then we're just going to kind of push away just a little bit. Push it away. Just like that. All right, so for those of you that got up early and joined me live, thank you. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll go out, do the work. We're just a couple weeks out from the Olympics, guys. We've got Ironman Lake Placid this weekend. Huge race. There's just amazing racing all over the world right now. Appreciate all the work. I mean, the Tour de France is still going. It's so exciting. I am an endurance fan through and through. I know you are too. Most of all, I'm concerned about keeping this super healthy, super mobile, and super strong. Have an amazing week. I will see you next Monday. Aloha. Well, not really aloha. Hi from Boulder.